Next, we'll move further. Okay, Kirchhoff's law. We'll study the Kirchhoff's law. So there are two major laws proposed by Kirchhoff's. One is Kirchhoff's current law, another one is Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay. So Kirchhoff's current law says the algebraic sum of currents at a node in any circuit is always zero. The algebraic sum of currents at a node in any circuit is always. So it says that at a node, the sum of the current is zero. What is node? Node is a junction where two or more conductors meet. In the diagram, you can see point A is a node where there are four conductors, there are two or more conductors meet. So consider a situation where four branches of circuit meet at a point called a node. Okay, so they meet at node, four branches, and directions of current carried by that branches are represented by the arrow marks in the figure. And each branch is carrying current. One branch is carrying I1 current, which is coming towards the node. The second branch is carrying current I2. It is also flowing towards the node. Third branch is having the current I3, and I4 is going away from the node, that is carried by the fourth branch. Conventionally, the current enters taken to be positive, otherwise it is taken to be negative. The current leaving the node is taken to be negative. That is, to apply the Kirchhoff's current law, we have to take the conventional method of representing the positive and negative current. The current which is entering the node is taken to be positive. The current which is leaving the node is taken to be negative. Then applying Kirchhoff's law at node A, it says that the sum of current at a node should be zero. Summation of I should be zero. You have to take care of this convention. The current entering the node should be taken as positive. Current leaving the node should be taken as negative. So consider one by one. So I1 is the current which is entering the node. It is positive. It is I1 plus second current is I2, which is entering the node. It is positive. I3 is also entering the node, which is positive, plus I3. Last branch, which is carrying current I4, where I4 is going away from the node. That's why minus I4. I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4. That should be equal to 0. That is the meaning of algebraic sum. You have to take the current entering the node as positive, current leaving the node as negative. So rearrange them. You will get I1 plus I2 plus I3 should be equal to I4. The last equation represents that the sum of current entering the node should be equal to sum of current leaving the node. ಎಷ್ಟು current enter ಆಗ್ತದೆ, same amount of current should leave the node. So there is no accumulation of current at a node. ಎಷ್ಟು current ಅಲ್ಲಿ enter ಆಗ್ತದೆ, same amount of current should leave. Okay. So I1 plus I2 plus I2 plus I3 should be equal to I4. So simply the algebraic sum of current meeting at a node should be equal to 0 always. And to apply the Kirchhoff's current law, you should remember conventions. The current entering the node should be taken as positive. Current leaving the node should be taken as negative. That is how we can understand Kirchhoff's current law, which is based on the law of conservation of charge. So charge will not remain at point A. The charges which are coming to node A should leave immediately. Next, second Kirchhoff's law, Kirchhoff's second law, or it is called as Kirchhoff's voltage law. It is also called as Kirchhoff's voltage law. It states that the algebraic sum of all IR drops and EMFs in any closed loop of an electrical network is 0. So Kirchhoff's voltage law can be applied to any closed loop. Closed loop again you apply ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. It says that the algebraic sum of all IR drops, you have to consider all IR drops, and you have to consider all EMFs. EMF means the voltages, voltage sources in any closed loop of an electrical network is 0. To apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law, to understand the Kirchhoff's voltage law, you consider this circuit where a closed loop of the circuit is considered. It is a closed loop of the circuit. Conventionally, in order to take the algebraic sum, so how positive and negative sign should be taken? The rise in potential in the direction of traverse in the loop is taken to be positive. If you go from one point to another point by means of a particular direction, you have to assume the direction. The rise in potential, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನೀವು ಟ್ರಾವೆರ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, if you go from one point to another point, if there is a rise in potential, that part should be taken as positive. If there is a fall in potential, that should be taken as negative. Okay, so to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law to the loop in this particular circuit, let the direction of traverse be clockwise. I have indicated by means of a arrow mark. Let this be a direction of traverse, that is clockwise direction. You have to go from this particular point. In one side in the now consider ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. Each IR drop and each EMF we have to take. Okay, so starting from EMF V1, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ start ಮಾಡೋಣ. So V1, we have to go from this negative to positive. There is a rise in potential, so that's why V1 is a positive. Next, go to this R1. So IR drop we have to take. We have assumed that current flowing through the circuit is I. So what is the IR drop here? It is I into R1, and there is a rise in potential in this direction. Current is flowing in this particular direction. That's why there is a rise in potential. Okay, so that's why IR1 is a positive. You have to take sum of IR drop and EMF. Second component is over. Come to third component, R2, where R2 is carrying current I. The IR drop is I into R2, and also current is flowing in this direction, so there is a rise in potential. So it is plus IR2, and finally this has to be V2. V2 is having the fall in potential. If you go from this positive terminal to negative terminal in clockwise direction, we are moving. That's why V2 is showing the fall in potential. It is connected in reverse direction. Okay, that's why V2 should be negative. So finally, you will get V1 plus IR1 plus IR2 minus V2. This sum should be equal to 0. Okay, so in clockwise direction, V2 is with fall in potential and a negative sign is applied to that. And all other EMFs and IR drops are positive because corresponding to these, there is a rise in potential. Okay, so you can solve this equation to find the current flowing through the circuit. If you know the value of V1, V2, R1, R2, etc., you can find the value of current flowing through the circuit. Basically, Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law are useful in analyzing the electrical circuit. Okay, so they are very basic laws in order to analyze the circuit. And at the end of this unit, you will have 4 networks theorem. They are also very helpful for the analysis of the circuit. So just you remember Kirchhoff's voltage law and current law. Okay. Next, let us understand the electronic components, basic electronic components such as capacitors and inductors. What this capacitor has, what is the function of capacitor? Already I have discussed in the first class. So capacitors, basically they store electric energy by storing the electric charges. They store electric charges. By means of that, they will store the electrical energy. This capacitor consists of 2 identical conductors separated by some dielectric medium. Okay, they consist of two identical conductors by separated by certain medium. Okay. Okay. So parallel plate capacitor, then spherical capacitor, cylindrical capacitor. There are different types of capacitor. So just you remember, capacitor consists of the identical conductors separated by dielectric medium. Okay, that is how the capacitor is constructed. So what it does, it stores the electric charges in it. It will store the electric energy or electric charges. On these conductors, opposite charges can be stored. ಎರಡು identical conductor the parallel plate capacitor means two parallel plates are there, then charges will be stored on the capacitor. Okay. Then inductor, second component, inductor. Inductor usually it is a coil. Inductor is a coil capable of storing magnetic field energy. It stores the magnetic energy. Okay. The current passing through any coil induces magnetic field to Faraday's law. Current will induce the magnetic field, and magnetic field in turn induces an opposite current. Eddy current anna produce ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. It will produce the opposite current. Okay. So it will oppose the incoming current. This enables an inductor to store the energy in the form of magnetic field. This is how it stores the energy in the form of magnetic field. And magnetic field and create ಆಗ್ತದೆ, that will be stored for a certain amount of time, certain instant of time. Okay. And it will produce the opposite current because of that stored magnetic field. So 2 points you have to remember. Capacitor stores the electric charges. Because of that, it is a storehouse of electric energy. Inductor is capable of inducing an electromagnetic current. Because of that, it stores the magnetic energy. Okay, magnetic energy store ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. Capacitor electrical energy store ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. Okay, so what is the expression for that energy stored? Here, energy stored in the capacitor is given by U of E is equal to half CV square. E stands for electrical energy. Electrical energy stored in the capacitor is given by half CV square, where C is the capacitance of the capacitor. Okay. If capacitance of the capacitor is more, it means that the capacity to store the charges is more. Okay. Other capacity just is artha if the value of C is more. Then V is the voltage across the capacitor at a given instant. Okay. If voltage across the capacitor is more, it means that it is storing more electric energy. Okay. Then what is the energy stored in the inductor? It is given by half Li square. Okay, where L is the self-inductance of the coil and I is the electromagnetic induced current. It is a current induced due to the magnetic field. Okay, so half CV square, it is the energy stored, and half Li square is a energy stored in the inductor. Okay. Okay, there is a question. What is dielectric medium? In capacitor, you will have the dielectric medium between two plates of the capacitor. The dielectric medium, it is used to increase the capacitance of the capacitor. Okay. Air is a dielectric medium. Madhya air idru kuda adu ಒಂದು dielectric medium. Dielectric medium means it is a insulating medium. Okay, it is a insulating medium where it is used to increase the capacity of the capacitor. Okay, so just I will discuss while studying the capacitors in detail. You will study that in the electrostatics unit. Okay, the unit al bartade adu, so you can study that. Okay, you will study that while studying the capacitors. Okay, the birth of the dielectric medium antandre it is a insulating medium. Okay, which is used to increase the capacitance of the capacitor. Capacitance of the capacitor increase ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನು use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay. Okay, next. So transient current, what do you mean by transient current? You will see. Okay, basically when you connect a resistor to a battery, if you switch on the battery, the current in the resistance becomes a steady value. If you laboratory study ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, when you connect a resistor, when you connect an ammeter, if you switch on the battery, ammeter needle goes to a steady value suddenly. So sudden ಆಗಿ a current needle ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಿಲ್ತದೆ. That will be the value of current flowing through the circuit. When you switch off the battery, then also the current needle ammeter ಒಳಗಡೆ arrow needle ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ that will fall to zero suddenly. Sudden ಆಗಿ zero ಬರ್ತದೆ. So that is actually called as steady current. Okay, so in a resistor steady current will flow. But in case of inductor and capacitor, what will happen if you connect an inductor and capacitor to a battery, then capacitor and inductor they will oppose the incoming current. Okay, a incoming current ಅನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಅದು oppose ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ because of the stored energy in them. Capacitor stores electrical energy, inductor stores magnetic energy, and this energy will oppose the incoming current, and this phenomena is called as transient phenomena of electric current. Okay, so how to define a transient current? Transient current is a oscillatory or a periodic current flowing through the circuit for a short time followed by an electromagnetic disturbance is called as the transient current. Okay, what do you mean by electromagnetic disturbance? Because of the stored electric field or stored magnetic field in the inductor and capacitor, they will disturb the current in the circuit. That is what electromagnetic disturbance. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, but electromagnetic disturbance is caused by inductor and capacitor. That means if an inductor or capacitor is connected in a circuit, that will disturb the current in the circuit. Current ಅನ್ನು ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. They will oppose the flow of current. This opposition is called as, or that leads to the transient phenomena. What do you mean by transient? Transient means a non-steady phenomena. It will not allow the current to become steady immediately. Current ಅನ್ನು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. That will this transient phenomena will make the current to oscillate. Current ಅನ್ನು ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗೋಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡೋದು. Because of that the current will not become steady, and this phenomena is called as transient phenomena. The current is called as transient current. The variable current or oscillatory current which is flowing through the circuit followed by an electromagnetic disturbance. So this is followed by electromagnetic disturbance. So electromagnetic disturbance will cause the current to change. It will not become steady, and that current is called as transient current. ಆ current ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, transient current ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. Okay, so that we are going to study. So we should know transient current is caused by the electromagnetic disturbance. Electromagnetic disturbance ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಬರ್ತದೆ? Because of capacitor and inductor. Capacitors and inductors they will oppose the incoming current. Current ಅನ್ನು oppose ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Because of that they cause electromagnetic disturbance. So whenever you study the circuits containing inductor and capacitor, you will observe this transient current. The variable current will be observed in case of inductors and capacitors. Okay, so just today I will give you the important equations. They are necessary to understand the derivation of RC circuit, charging of the capacitor in RC circuit. Okay, ಏನೇನ್ ಬೇಕು? What is the voltage across the electronic components? You should remember. Resistance ಅಲ್ಲಿ voltage ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದೋಸ್ 3 ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಟುಡೇ. ಇದು ಮೂರನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ. ಒಂದು, ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್, a resistor which is connected to a battery. How to calculate the voltage across the resistor? So resistor is having this particular symbol. This is the symbol of the resistor, a zigzag pattern which opposes the current. Let us take voltage V. Battery of voltage V is connected to resistor. Then current I will flow through the circuit. Let us assume that I is the current flowing through the circuit. Then according to Ohm's law, the voltage across the resistor V is equal to current into resistance. That is very simple. Already you know. If a resistance is connected to a battery through any other electronic component, C capacitor connect ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ, what is the voltage across the resistance ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? You have to take the IR product. That is actually voltage across the resistance. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಬ್ಯಾಟರಿ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ 10 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಇರಲಿ 5 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಇರಲಿ, to calculate the voltage across the resistance, what you have to do, you take IR product, current into resistance. That is the actual method. That is the actual voltage across the resistance. You remember this point very properly. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the voltage across the resistor. Next, capacitor connect ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? Suppose you connect a capacitor to a battery, only capacitor, no resistance, etc. A capacitor is directly connected to the battery. Suppose initially, let us assume capacitor is not charged. ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ charges ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. Consider there are no charges in the capacitor. A capacitor of capacitance C, capacitance of the capacitor C, is connected to an EMF of voltage V. A battery of voltage V is connected to capacitor like this. Then capacitor charges due to current I. Then current I will flow through the capacitor. Because of that, capacitor start to charge. Charge agide andre artha enu? ಈ plates of the capacitor ಮೇಲೆ charges accumulate ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Positive charges will accumulate on one plate. Negative charges will accumulate on another plate. Opposite charges ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. The plus Q and minus Q charge are stored on the plates of the capacitor. ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಈ ತರ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ that current will make the capacitor to charge. Capacitor charge ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? On one plate plus Q charge is stored, on another plate minus Q charge is stored. Then what is the voltage across the capacitor? The equation is V equal to Q by C. You have to remember this equation to find the voltage across the capacitor. So voltage across the capacitor is given by the charge on one plate of the capacitor divided by the capacitance of the capacitor. So charge is expressed in coulomb, capacitance is expressed in farad. Farad ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ capacitance ನ, charge ಅನ್ನ coulomb ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So coulomb per farad, that is actually voltage. Okay, so voltage across the capacitor is given by Q by C. You remember this expression very carefully. ನೀವು ಒಂದು capacitor voltage find out ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ you take just Q divided by C. Charge on the capacitor divided by capacitance of the capacitor. That will be used to find the voltage across the capacitor. Voltage across the resistor ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ? Voltage across the resistor ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is I into R. That is voltage across the resistor. Voltage across the capacitor ಏನು? it is Q divided by C, where Q is the charge on the capacitor. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು. ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ದಿ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, so that charge is represented as Q. So remember, one plate will store positive charge, another plate will store negative charge. Okay, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, that is how it stores the charges. What is the voltage? That is Q by C. If Q is more, if it stores more charges, voltage across the capacitor is said to be more. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟನ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ಸರ್, ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಮೋರ್. ಓಕೆ, ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟನ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟನ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ, that is inductor. So inductor is having this particular symbol. It is a coil. ಈ ಕಾಯಿಲ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? a coil symbol. Inductor is connected to a battery. Okay, let us assume this particular situation. An inductor of self-inductance L, either self-inductance ಏನಿದೆ, that is L, is connected to an EMF of voltage V. Okay, a battery is connected whose voltage is V, which is connected to an inductor. Then definitely current will flow. And I have not given the actual current here because current will not be steady here. Constant current flow agudilla inductor. When battery is switched on, the inductor opposes the incoming current I. When battery is switched on, it may send current I, but it will oppose that current because of the magnetic field created here. Due to electromagnetic induction, an induced current flows in opposite direction. The incoming current I ee tara flow ಆದರೆ, the opposite current will flow in the opposite direction. That is in accordance with Lenz law and Faraday's law. Okay, so then what is the voltage across the inductor? Voltage across the inductor is given by minus L into di by dt. Okay, so voltage produced by the inductor is more if there is a more variation of current. You know that when there is a change in magnetic flux, the induced current is observed according to Faraday's law. This negative sign indicates that it is a opposite current to that of the incoming current. Okay, so V will be equal to minus L into di by dt, where di by dt, it is representing the rate of change of current. So when you switch on the battery, current is starting from 0. So before switching on the battery, current is 0. When you switch on the battery, current increases. It may increase to I. In that time, it will oppose the incoming current. And voltage across the inductor is more if there is a more change in current. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಬ್ಯಾಟರಿ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಿರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, voltage across the inductor is very high. Then voltage will decrease, slowly decrease ಆಗ್ತದೆ. When current is steady, voltage across the inductor becomes 0. When di by dt is 0, V will be 0. di by dt 0 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Current is constant. Constant current ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ voltage across the inductor is 0. So voltage across the inductor is observed if there is a variation of current. Okay, so this is what the voltage across the inductor is represented, minus L into di by dt, where L is the self-inductance of the coil or self-inductance of the inductor. So series RC circuit we will consider in the next class. So just you remember these 3 points.